Now, why do you think we should use external style sheets? I explained earlier, okay, that when building a website that has a lot of pages, it is advisable to use external CSS. Now, why is it important to use external CSS? We use external CSS because, one, all of your web pages can share the same style sheet. This is achieved by using the link, just like we did in our first example, and then link or write the code, the CSS rules for all your elements within a page, and then link it together. Once the user has downloaded the CSS style sheet, the rest of the site will load faster. If you want to make a change on how your site appears, you only have to edit the CSS file and not go on your HTML. For example, you can change the style of your H1 element by just altering one CSS style sheet rather than changing the entire CSS rules on every page. That is if you are creating multiple pages and you are doing internal CSS. That means on each of the page you will have to specify which particular CSS rule to use. But when you are using one style sheet and linking it together on your home page, what it does is it applies to almost every page of your website. Okay, it's considered as a good practice, okay, to have the content of your website separated from the rules, okay, so that you can easily make your changes. Now let's practicalize the internal and external CSS. So this external CSS, I'm trying to name this file styles.css. Let me just save this. This should be the HTML that has this link. So let me just load in my CSS codes. This is my CSS. Let me just edit this code now and save it. Let me try a link. Is css.css. Let me save this file as well. Let me head straight to my browser and see if it works. Now it works. What we did was that we applied this rule. Where are the rules? These are the rules, which says the entire body. Okay, that means the entire visual area of the web page, which is the entire this part, the visual area of the web page should have Arial, and the background color should be this. So let's say gray or ash. Okay, that should be the what I use the RGB, the red, green and blue. I will explain that one later in our lessons. And our H1 should be white. Our H1, which is this, should be white, and you can see it is white in color. So this is what external CSS, by bringing a link, okay, bringing a link indicating the href, indicating the file we are linking it to, indicate the type, and then the relationship between the HTML and the CSS. And we will create a different CSS sheet, and this is the sheet we are going to link to this HTML. Let me also practicalize internal CSS. So I'm going to take out this link and relationship. We don't need it. So let me load the codes for internal CSS. Let me just change this to internal CSS. So you can imagine changing the color. So first of all, we put in the star, we close the star, and we give it a property of type, and then we give it a value of test/css, okay, and then the body. So this is just what we apply to the external CSS. These are the same codes I've just copied and I've pasted it in the style. So the same code to come here, but just that I changed the color. So we actually see that things are working. I made the background a bit brighter, and I made the H1 color red, so that we can easily identify the difference and how it works. So let me just save this, come to my browser and refresh. So you can see that now our H1 is now red, just like we indicated in the internal CSS style, and our entire body is a bit brighter as compared to the initial gray, while this one was white. Okay, So whether you use internal CSS or external CSS, it is up to you. But then best practice is to use external CSS if you are working on multiple web pages. Okay, you have a very large website you are creating, you'll have to use external CSS to save yourself. So what you have to do is just to bring the link and then link the CSS to the HTML. Now that we have a brief explanation of what CSS is, we are going to do more and more practical in this particular or in the subsequent chapters we are going to treat. The next chapter, which is our chapter 11, is going to talk about color. Okay, I want to explain what colors are in CSS and how to apply them in our website. Thank you.